When do you stop saying Happy New Year? When do you just start saying happy? I don't know. It just said my device unexpectedly stopped, but if you can still hear me,
Yeah,
that is
you're
so
good.
random.
I think the table made it disconnect briefly, but you're good now.
Okay. Um, so when I said good morning, good morning, good morning, welcome to the breakdown, episode 112. My name's Akil Patterson. David Gokhshtein is busy in the background trying to find his hat. I don't know if he's going out for a walk or if he's getting ready to get trampled by some elephants, but he is there. You can even hear him getting into his car at this point. David, are you're on mute? You know what? Let's just go with it. So here we are, episode 112, the breakdown, sponsored by Unstoppable Domains, I believe. I don't know where that logo is, but it's normally up there. And powered by Gokhshtein Media. I'm your host, Akil Patterson. I'm going to get into news because guess what? Because David has me. I wish I could meet David. I just wish I could meet David. Um, I'm not going to talk about that d bag Andrew Tate today because he ain't worth my time. He is absolutely not worth my time. But what I am going to talk about the Idaho killer. Yes, the Idaho killer. So I don't know if anybody's familiar with this story. Several weeks ago, there were four young college students that were terribly and horrifically murdered in their dorm rooms heading into the holidays. The man who is alleged to have killed them, Brian Cooper, he's a criminal justice major. He's 28 years old. His DNA was found at the crime scene. You know, one of the things that I had to ask myself though the other day was, hold on, how'd they find his DNA? Like the guy has no criminal history. And so I'm just wondering, like, how do you match your DNA to that? Like how? Like it's just a question. I'm not saying that he did or didn't, um, but he didn't have a criminal record. So where'd you get his DNA from? Like, is his parents? What is his dad? Is his dad a rapist? Is there like an unused sex kit from like 1980? I mean, because you know what? Legitimately, true story, hand to God. There was a young individual. I'll leave their name out of it. They are an athlete, and randomly one day, his dad went in for like some blood test, and they then arrested his dad for like an unsolved murder in 1980. Like legit, like straight up. Dad's like, yeah, just going to get some blood work done. You know, turns out this dude eventually admitted to doing some really heinous crimes. So it's like, oh shit. You know, I thought maybe the 23andMe stuff too. If someone did a 23andMe thing, that's one reason why I won't give them my DNA. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing with it. Like you're gonna tell me like I'm 3% Pan African. Like you can look at me and probably be like, you've got somebody from that area in your face, maybe. You know, not to mention I'm a little chunky, so I got other things. But yeah, so the Idaho murderer is actually on his way back to Idaho, University of Idaho, to because he waived his extradition from the state of Pennsylvania. Very interesting thing. Pennsylvania is a commonwealth, so like they like operate differently than other places. So Idaho killer, guy's a real weirdo. You know, guy's like 28 getting his PhD in criminology. They're like, oh, he's kind of a loner. He's a vegan. He's a libertarian. I'm like, yo, this is why I don't always rock with libertarians because they got like there's some weird things in the libertarians that most people aren't necessarily aware of. Like one weird thing about libertarians is on their national platform. I might have 25% European. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that really means. I really don't. Not that I care. But yeah. So there's something really interesting about libertarians that most people don't recognize. And you can go look at this in their national platform. They have this really odd mechanism, and I mean really odd mechanism, about age of consent. Yeah, I didn't stutter, folks. Legit. And here's this weirdo right here. He's 28 years old. He is currently facing criminal charges for murder. And it says he murdered 4 people in their sleep. 4. Like, how hard of a sleeper is this entire house? Unless you just went in and just started like, how hard of a sleeper are you? Like, I hear like I hear like a footstep. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, I hear things and I'm ready to jump out of bed. Let alone if the dogs or something hear it. I mean, the dogs are just, they will bark at air as it passes me by. Yeah, and it says they had defense wounds. It's very interesting. This is why you sleep with a 9 next to your bed. No. Just sleep with a gun next to your bed. Well, good morning, David. I'm glad you found your hat.
Good morning.
Well, you don't look like a serial killer. Hold on, let me get off now since you're unmuted.
I hope I don't. Yeah, I don't know why I can't switch on to. This sucks. I can't switch it on to whatever. I guess I'll hear it from this end. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Akil.
Good morning, DG. Rough night, rough morning.
Nah, yeah, just been like working like nonstop, and then I worked out, and then like I'm tired as hell, bro. Like, holy shit, I'm tired.
Well,
Really
hopefully
am.
you didn't turn into a serial killer in your sleep.
No, no, no. Is that the news today?
Well, I was just, so the serial killer, that Brian Kober guy, he is a serial killer, or he killed 4 people, went to criminology school. Like, they're like, yo, this dude's got all the makings of a serial killer. But he's getting extradited back to Idaho in the next 10 days. And I was just reading up on it. It's not like I like finding out about serial killers. I happen to have a significant other that likes to tell me about them. And then I'm like, all right, let me see how these people died. Like, I get really worried because, again, it's a serial killer. Like, what if they got the wrong person? What if that person's still out there? Listen, like remember Summer of Sam? Do you remember that? Well, of course, you and I were like, it was like a couple years after we were born. But the Summer of Sam, like, people still talked about that in New York. We're like, yeah, the power went out and this dude was going around and he was talking to a dog and he was killing people. Like, you're like, what? Like, you thought it was weird. You really would think it was weird that some guy is admitting that he talks to dogs and the dog was telling him to kill people. But then you're like, it's New York. It's the Bronx. Yeah, it probably happened. I mean, because we've been on trains where people are like talking to their dog, like having full on conversations, looking at their dogs.
Well, that's like every day in New York.
Yeah.
Like people just talking to poles and
Oh,
shit.
they straight have beef with poles. David, I once walked up to a dude. He was like, yo, you believe what this motherfucker just said to me? And he's like looking at the pole, looking at me. And I kept thinking, I wonder if he's just talking to the pole and he's about to go off on the pole, or if he's going to try to fight me. Because I was ready to throw hands that day. Luckily, he was talking to the pole. Apparently, the pole had insulted him. And he's just letting me know that the pole had insulted him. And then he went off on the pole and he was like boxing with it for like 20 minutes. Had I had a phone at the time to record, because I used to be anti-smartphone. You know what that's like, David? To be an anti-smartphone? Like, I don't want a camera on my phone. Because I
Yeah,
always thought the police were tracking me.
you sound like a psychopath.
I sound like a reasonable person in like 2006. I was like, man, nah. A camera means you got evidence.
Listen, cameras are good now, man. Cameras get out there and like record motherfuckers doing stupid shit. Yo, good morning. Let's restart. Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good
Good
fucking morning. It's 2023. We fucking say good morning. All right, good morning. Like a fucking New Yorker. Good morning. All
Well,
right.
good morning. I
G
have
Media.
long.
G Media is that fucking network. Unstoppable Domains is that motherfucking sponsor. It's me, DG, with your boy AK. Yo, I killed Patterson on the 1 and 2s. You look like it right now.
I know, right?
You definitely look like Run DMC right now.
That's what I was going for. It's like, I'm the king of rap. There is none high.
There we go. Man, there's a lot of news. I guess
Do we
SBF.
want to get to crypto news? The first crypto
Well,
news?
I mean SBF pleaded not guilty to all these charges that have been pushed onto him. So,
See, I'm past that. I'm on to the $667,000 he was cashing out.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so SBF, he's been making all these claims like, "Oh, poor me, I only have $100,000 left in his account." Well, now there's evidence that he tried to cash out about $667,000 on an account that only allows you to remove $1,000 per transaction.
Yo, rich people do rich things. Yo,
Yo,
that
the
I
balls
just
on that dude.
it's crazy, bro. It's nuts. It is nuts, bro. Um, I I don't know how I feel. Yeah, honestly, I'm fucking tired of SBF. I know we got to talk about it, but I'm tired of this dude. Like I've said his name so much. I swear to God, I feel like he's sponsoring these spaces at this point. So I honestly, like, yo, do you think he's guilty or not guilty?
Oh, at this point, I'm 100% sure that he is either criminally insane or fucking guilty as sin. Either way, he did it. That's what I'm saying. He did this.
Who
Like
who
it,
who who are the two people he doesn't want to be outed?
huh?
He asked the courts to not out the two people that had something to do with him getting bail. Who are those two people? I'm really wondering.
I
He
really
doesn't want
don't
it to
know.
be public information.
I don't know who it is, but I do, like I said, I just think that there is nobody coming to save him at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
but somebody big money bailed him out. So
but no, to
who are
bail him
those?
out.
Yeah, like he asked the lawyer. His lawyers asked the courts not to keep a private information.
So I heard, so his parents put up the house for collateral.
Correct.
So, and then at that point they only needed uh 10% of 250 million, so like $25 million, right?
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
think he only needed 25 million of the 250 million.
I'm gonna agree with Matt over here. Matt Barnes said that it's probably Kevin O'Leary.
Again, you've got house collateral, plus you only have to. So if you've got the house collateral, that makes up a large percentage of that. I think if he had, I don't think he had to put up any cash though. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is, who paid? Who paid?
Well, mom
Like,
and dad,
okay,
they put up
no, no,
they put up the
here.
house.
Okay, I'm stupid. I'm stupid when it comes to this.
Okay.
$250 million was the set bill, correct?
Yeah, but what you have
No,
to
no, no.
remember.
Okay, so I want to ask this question:
Okay.
if he runs, right, somebody
Yeah.
has to pay the 250, right?
Well, so that's what the collateralized loan is for. So you forfeit anything after that. So they have to make sure that you have enough in assets or property to then say, okay, if he runs, we're taking your shit.
Okay, so but it would have to amount to 250, right?
Yes, and that's why they make sure that whatever you're putting up
Okay.
will equal the sum of at least that.
So where's it? What? So he has his parents' house, correct?
He's got his parents' house,
Which is
but
worth
then
about
they have
$5 million.
assets that so then and then there were two other people, which you said there were two other people who are also backing those assets.
Okay, but who are those two other people? And that's what I'm saying.
So one of
We
them
don't
could be a bail bondsman. I don't know, but I'm just,
no, but I'm
that
just saying in
yeah,
general, their lawyers or his lawyers, I should say, are trying to keep that information away from the public. So
for
I'm
now.
so I'm wondering, is one of the could it be just one person in this in the two people, one person, a high power person that went and came in to bail him out? Could it potentially be a Kevin O'Leary?
So
Potentially, I'm just saying,
it
potentially.
could. It could. So potentially, David, you are correct.
So
And just to let you guys
hypothetically, if
know,
he
so
did, what kind of light would that put him in? Like if
what
Kevin O'Leary this is, by the way, guys, this is all hypotheticals. This is not we don't know. I absolutely don't know. But if Kevin O'Leary helped bail him out, hypothetically speaking, how do you look at Kevin O'Leary now? And why would he do it? Hypothetically speaking, I got to put hypothetically in because somebody's going to run with this and say that we're dropping some factual information here, which this is all hypothetical.
So, as a hypothetical, Kevin O'Leary would not face any true ramifications other than his testimony being tainted.
It
Because
has.
Kevin O'Leary is going to be called as a witness. And at that point, you wouldn't want to call a witness that has actually interjected themselves in it. But I don't believe he's allowed to have any contact with witnesses. I think that's something that his lawyers will be required to like say, hey, listen, you can't have any contact. Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary wouldn't have been able to have any contact either. I mean, these people facing serious fucking charges.
I'll
You're
tell you
talking about
what,
the
Johnny.
largest Ponzi scheme in history.
Johnny, I'll tell you why people have so Johnny has a question. Why do we have such a big problem with someone being free until they are proven guilty by the jury of their peers? So like here's the problem. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. Uh, but here's the thing that we have to sit back and think about, right? If Sam wasn't connected, and clearly he is connected, so that is factual. When I say something like Sam has connections, I'm not lying about that, am I? Like, Akil, does Sam have connections?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so I don't think I'm lying about that. If this was a person who had no connections and who did the same thing as Sam, they would not be roaming free, okay, flying first class and having to pay nothing, not even a penny to leave. Their ass would be in jail. This is special privilege that's happening. Again, and that goes for anybody in this kind of situation. Proven until proven until proven. Fucking what is it? Oh
Innocent
my
until
God,
proven guilty.
yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm fucking tired right now. So yeah, that right. But you know what would happen if it was anybody else? They ain't nobody walking free. Nobody. And you know what? New York has a really bad system. I'll say the one thing. New York they have people that will commit a crime and they walk out. Like somebody will pistol smack somebody in the head and they're released the same day.
Well, that's
Akil, it's
called catch and
horrible.
release.
Yeah, but that's horrible. You imagine that? That's terrible.
Well, yeah.
That's why a
But
lot of
David,
people are moving. A lot of people are moving out of New York because you have that going on. De Blasio, who is the former mayor, was like, "Yo, people go in, they go out. What is that all about?"
well, David. So at the oh god, you know how much of a nerd I am. So at the height of New York's crime scene back in the 70s, there were about 3,200 murders per year. Bodies missing, we don't even conclude, but there's about 3,200 murders per year in the city of New York. Yeah, you guys think your city's got crime problems? Be in New York in the 70s and the 80s, that shit was off the chain. Now, What they did though is they started to do these programs where they were just like, yo, get everyone off the streets, just round them up for being on the corner. It was a massive program that showed statistics that, hey, policing works. But what they were really doing was you go in through the front door and you leave out the back door, because guess what? The more they could prosecute, the more they were able to fund defense attorneys, the more they were able to fund agencies. Like, people get paid off of crime. Lawyers, doctors, physical like evidence people, everyone makes money off of crime. The world's three oldest professions: crime, booze, sex. Three oldest professions. Guess what? They're all very profitable. So if you've got criminal activity and you got lawyers that have to back it up, it becomes a thing. They did the same thing. I encourage everybody to go check out my homeboy D Watkins episode 3 of We Own This City. It is a series based in this decade where the police were really told, arrest them and then put them back on the streets. They need to go make money. Like, that's how our courts work, David. They arrest drug dealers and put them back on the street. Why? Because drug dealers are an economic chain. They make money for people, so.
All I gotta say is,
That's why.
it's just fucking nuts. I don't know. I just special privilege, man. That's all I gotta say. And I really would like the court to go ahead and tell us exactly who bailed them out. I'd really
I
love.
think you'll be able to find that in a couple of weeks. Or at least by next October, I think his trial date's set for October 2nd.
I was in a chat yesterday, and somebody said, I forgot who said this. Somebody said that once the Southern District of New York gets their hands on you, they have like an 80% to 90% win record.
Yeah.
And like the 10% that actually get out, like, you better have good money and a good lawyer to go ahead and get you out of your current situation. So it's funny. I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure. Who's representing him now? Because I know Paul Weiss. I know they all dropped his ass. Who's representing him now? I forgot. Because we haven't talked about. Listen, we haven't talked about SBF in a while here. At least me. I personally forgot about him. Which is a good thing, because again, like I said, I'm tired of his ass. So I'm not really like so upset that we forgot about his ass.
Let me see. Somebody. I'm looking right now for his lawyers.
By the way, it really feels good not to wear a suit today. It really fucking feels great not to wear a suit today.
Okay, so his first set of lawyers quit in November, citing inconsistent and disruptive tweeting. And then his new lawyers. Let's see. Who are the new lawyers? I don't know. Who are these guys?
By the way, I was on
Mark Cohen.
Mark Cohen is
Cohen
the
and
one, the guy who defended Maxwell.
yeah,
Who was
from Cohen and Greaser.
the girl who was or the woman, I should say, that was with Epstein.
Jaleesa Maxwell.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I mean, that's interesting though. That's an interesting. I mean, because they lost. They lost.
I will go ahead and say this. Moving on from SBF, fuck SBF. Fuck that motherfucker. Because I'm fucking tired of him. By the way, I was on Bit Boy's show, or I don't know if it's Bit Boy's show, but it's on his network, Around the Block. I was on there, and there was a funny question about this whole bonk shit. By the way, I should change the title to this bonk crap, or should I? No, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I
Don't do
fucking
that,
give
'cause
them,
then they'll
I
come
give
in
them
here.
fucking free press and shit. But I think bonk is a piece of shit protocol, and I'm gonna say that now. I ain't holding back feelings anymore. You know what? You know what happened to me? I was thinking about this. I stopped talking a lot when with the SafeMoon debacle, right? So when SafeMoon came out, and I told everybody is a piece of shit, I got attacked by everybody. I got literally attacked and massacred, beat with fucking chairs and shit because I didn't understand. We left the goddamn centralized system to get away from all these fucking fees and all this shit, right? And not to be held captive. Here comes SafeMoon with fucking taxes and reflections and all this. I don't know what the fuck. And I said, yo, this shit don't make sense, man. Like still, I'm all about my Bitcoin and Ethereum. And like, fuck, I was like ramming it in their ass. And then, again, every room that I would go to, I get attacked. I have people tweeting at me. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? Fuck all you motherfuckers. I ain't gonna go ahead and say anything. I'm gonna watch you drown. Because how can you not be allowed to ask questions? How can you not allowed to be asked fucking questions? I ask questions. But I ask real questions. Hey, how's this shit work? And nobody can fucking answer it. And it's the same thing with this. This whole bonk shit, it just reminds me. You know what this bonk shit is? Bonk is for you thirsty ass son of a bitches that have come into 2023. You're excited. We're all excited. Leaving 2022 in the past. And now you're so giddy that you're jumping into this crap. Bonk. Bonk. Which on their website, they're basically telling you that they're a fucking rug pull. Their website is telling you that. We at Bonk are basically taking exit. We are using you as exit liquidity. We are here to push money back into this the Solana ecosystem. Fuck Solana. How about that? With all that VC money and all that, they had VC money. They had everything to their advantage, and they've done nothing. The only thing they have done, they've gone down. They've gone down multiple times on a weekly basis. They've done shit. Solana was supposed to be the ETH killer? No. Solana is what EOS was. Nothing more than that. And I'll go ahead and say that EOS actually probably has better tech than Solana. But I'll get hate for that because most of these people that went into Solana are wet behind the ears. You have just literally come into this space. So don't at me, please. Go fucking talk to a wall, honestly. You know what? And I was rooting for Solana. I really was. But I don't know how you come back from Solana. They're gonna have to do major PR, and I don't think they understand this. I think they're like, yo. I think they're just fucking saying like, people will forget about everything that happened. No, your name will always be linked to Sam Bankman-Fried. Number one, you gotta erase that image out of my head. You gotta delete that. That Solana. Like you have literally think about it. Solana was fucking, or excuse me, Sam was fucking with Solana. Plus the tech constantly goes down. Why would I go into Solana? Why?
Well, you go into Solana because there's money there.
What money though? What they let, so here's how dumb they are. And I'm gonna tell you how dumb they are. If I'm the founder of Solana, I'm on the phone right now. No, yesterday. I'm on the phone with Frank from D Gods, and I'm telling him, how much money do you want to stay on the Solana network? Is $7 million going to keep you here? Is $10 million going to keep you here? That is what I'm doing. I am on the phone with Frank from D Gods, and I'm making sure that D Gods and Utes remain on Solana. They just let him walk.
Yeah. Hey, David, I think so. Alex has a clip of you and when you're over there on the other show talking about bunk. If you want to roll that real quick, Alex.
All right.
Okay, bonk, number one, is a lottery ticket. This is crap.
Yeah.
So if you go into it, you'll lose all your money. You're gonna be somebody's exit liquidity. Just letting you know, if you haven't learned your lessons from last year, you deserve it. Yes, I said that. As for Solana, yeah, you can get into Solana. That's great because when the bull market returns, it'll go up. But based on what? Based on nothing. Solana is a hardware company at best. That's it. It's never going to be anything. I'm sorry. I know the Solana people are going to come after me for this, but I'm fine with it. Solana is not the ETH killer. They should have gave a massive amount of money to and Frank to stay on the platform because they were relevant because of them. They started to go ahead. People wanted the phone. People wanted to go into their workshops. It's leaving. Everybody's leaving. And now Bonk? What is Bonk? They're talking about Bonk is the solution to bring equity back into the Solana system. No. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out on both.
I would
Hard
actually
sell.
agree with all of that. I think is
I don't know what I said wrong.
So here's the question, David. So like apparently, so Bonk is being used to inject capital. People just listen to what we're saying here. It's injecting capital, liquidity, money into the system by almost 1,000%.
But that okay. But I want
That's
you to understand.
weird.
There's nothing behind Bonk. So just so you know, anybody who's going into Bonk, like you are just playing a lottery ticket. Like if you got money and you're okay with if you're okay with taking liquidity and putting it into Bonk, just know there's nothing in Bonk. There's nothing. They're using your money to apparently inject it into the Solana ecosystem. That's it. That's the use case. That's the use case. Why would you? Then it doesn't even make sense. You know what they're doing? They're shorting. It's like shorting Solana. That's all you're doing. You might as well invest into Solana, right? Am I wrong?
I mean, I don't think so. So why not? Yeah, that's why I said why not just be in Solana?
But you're fucking people. That's all you're doing.
No.
And
I think
the only but the only people that are winning
are these people. Because think about it. They know exactly who they're targeting. And I'm going to say this. I don't know if they're people. I think they're degens. And you degens of the world have been fucking up the market for long enough.
Listen,
you might finally be getting like a little bit of just dessert because you guys fuck up the market. You play stupid games and you're going to get stupid fucking answers. Tell me I'm wrong.
The only people that are getting rich off of this thing are influencers that were dropped free Bonk. That's why you have so many people talking about it. Look who's talking about it. All you have to do is look who's talking about Bonk. Whoever got dropped Bonk is making bank. That's it. That Bonk transaction is in and out within 5 minutes. Like yo, and let me say this. This is paper hand season. Paper hand season. Unless it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, paper hand season. I am not falling in love with anything. Do not come at me with anything. When I go on Twitter and I ask you what's the next 100x play, I'm not marrying that thing. I just want to feel the pulse of the streets. I might go ahead and take some liquidity and throw it in there, but I am out. I am out within 3 days. There is no diamond handing any of this shit. Nothing. If it's not Ethereum or Bitcoin, I ain't diamond handing dick. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not making that mistake. Because I want to please the crowd. Well, please the crowd. Fuck the crowd. I ain't pleasing. You can please these nuts. I
Yeah.
ain't pleasing anybody.
Well, David, I'm with you on this because again, degens mess with the ecosystems in crypto, and I don't think they recognize it because many of them are like, "Oh, I'm just out here trying to get this like 100x." It's like I feel you, but at the same time, I don't feel you. I need you to be better. I need you not to be a tool bag. I need you to like really focus in. Look, we are going to go oh my god, I'm saying it. Fuck, we're gonna go parabolic. Going parabolic. Shout outs to our homies over there, Jason and them. Where's my? Oh, there it goes. But yeah, it says blessed. But if you are about to go parabolic in the ecosystem, why fiddle around with things that make no sense? No sense. Like this bonk situation is also being like, it's like, oh, we're going off this Shiba Inu thing. I'm like, all right, fine, throw $100 into it. Maybe you'll make a lot of money. I mean, if you like gambling, which some of you degens are. But the minute we start really looking into the ecosystems of what is viable, what's at play, what is Web3, what are things coming down the pipeline, that's when you got to say, okay, these are viable options. But a lot of people aren't giving you viable options out there. I just want good projects that have good opportunities to be presented to the communities that, especially our community, especially the G Squad out there. You guys don't deserve to be brought into shit projects anymore. You don't deserve to be given bad information, bad news. You truly do deserve at least decent stuff. So make sure on Fridays you go catch Ross in the weekly wrap up where he goes through some of this stuff for you. He talks about these numbers, how to read these weird charts. You've got to start doing some work. Pen and paper, pencil and paper, keyboards, whatever, your tablets, they are used for other things other than porn and drawing doodles during work. So get into it.
NFTs have now separated themselves from the crypto market.
100%.
They're not the same. And I will even state that I think the NFT market will start to head or starts to get bullish way before crypto. I think a lot of people are sleeping on that. The Web3 community is fucking lit. I'll tell you that right now. The NFT community looks at everything so much different. They are liquid, number one, and they look at everything from a different POV. Totally different POV. The crypto community needs to get their heads out of their asses. That's what they need to do. Speaking of Shiba, I said it. I tweeted about Shiba Inu today. That everybody was so focused on finding the next fucking sheep that everybody ran off a fucking cliff trying to fucking catch one. And what I mean by catch one, catch the next sheep. But there's never going to be another sheep. There was never going to be another sheep. Maybe on the next bull run there might be another sheep, but nothing like that, where you invested $500 and you made millions of dollars back. Literally, there was a guy who invested $4,000 into sheep and had like $25 million sitting in his wallet, which is nuts. I don't think there was enough liquidity to go ahead and exit out of 25 million, but still, 25 million sitting in your wallet, only investing $4,000 into it. That, but these still are risks to go ahead and take on. I remember when, like I said, I got a DM when sheep first came out and people were like, David, you got to get into sheep, and I didn't. It was just against every principle that I have. I'm not a degen to begin with. Well, maybe now I'm a little bit more okay with playing around if I have like a few cents. But I was always about accumulating Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's it. And maybe some other projects. But I was never into fucking meme tokens. But then I spent a hell of a lot of money getting into meme tokens only to become fucking exit liquidity. Like most people would be embarrassed to go ahead and tell you that they lost money being a degen. I'm here
I personally have a big platform, and I'm telling you, I fucking lost my ass. I lost money that I can afford to lose, but still, that doesn't make it feel better. I could have bought property with that money.
Yeah. Should have bought property. Hey, David, how do you feel about that other one though? That pie.
So yeah, another thing, I don't even, I always thought Pi was some scam. Like this thing Pi, like everybody would DM me about it and say, "Hey, can you use this link and like become part of Pi? You can mine it right on your phone." And I'm like, "No, I'm not I don't even know what this is. I'm going to click this link and you're going to take all my assets. I'm sure like you're going to figure out a way to go ahead and hack my wallets, even my cold wallet." I was like, "Yo, this Pi thing is probably a piece of shit." Now they're being listed, and now Pi themselves are like, "Yo, like this is messed up. We don't want to be on exchanges. Like we gave nobody authority to go ahead and put us on an exchange." I don't know what this Pi shit is. I haven't even. All I know is though, hey, they got like 30 million people apparently. They got 30 million. They got 30 million people. That I know. So somebody who was in early on Pi, they're gonna make bank. They're gonna make money. There's no doubt about it. They're gonna make money on Pi. I am not going into it. Fuck that. And you guys can play this fucking recording back when you make millions of dollars. I don't give a shit. I'm not chasing anything. I am not chasing shit anymore. Nothing. I am not providing my money in order for you to go ahead and benefit from it. Suck it. That's what you get. Nothing. These nuts on a platter. I'm not putting in shit.
Jesus. You that angry?
I'm not angry. I'm more vocal.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? This is how I was back in 2017. I'm telling you, I figured it out last night. As I'm doing work last night, building the ecosystem for G3, and shout outs to everybody who went ahead and minted out a pass for G3. More news coming tomorrow or the next day. I don't know when we're planning to do it, but fairly shortly to announce everything about the Genesis mint. But I was thinking about it. I was like, yo, it was that Safe Moon shit. When I was calling out Safe Moon and Sheep and all this other lottery ticket shit in the beginning, when I really felt like these things were lottery tickets, the bashing, the consistent like waking up to come onto your account only to have people ripping you apart and not understanding that you are asking questions because you work for a media company and you're trying to report on this shit. And me myself, I want to understand it. Fuck that. I'm back. Y'all, you can come at me with your entire fucking community. I'll lay out these nuts for you on a red carpet with some peanut butter. I grew up on Bitcoin and Ethereum, bro. I grew up on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then I went into jerk off projects like Hawk, which turned into Cock. You remember? I fucking listed down right now the amount of cock that I went into.
Well, Hawk was just fucking awful. Fucking awful. I mean, man, I remember the late
Yo,
night.
you took that big breath like, oh man, I remember, bro. Yeah, that's right.
I remember because you were like, we this is back when we had a crew that was different. The late nights, David, the late nights. Hey, I'm looking at this, and everybody goes, David, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And you were like, nah, I'm going in. And then Jess was like, I don't think that's a good idea, David. I don't think that's a good idea, David.
No,
Yeah.
she questioned my manhood, and that's why I went in. So that's why I say that women are smarter than men. That's why I have that argument that women are smarter than men, because like all they have to do is question your manhood and you're gonna fucking do it. Just to go ahead and show that, like, yo, I'm a fucking man. I got balls. The fuck? Stupid, right? Stupid.
Yeah, that was.
You're a fucking jerk off.
David, anybody would have told you that. Like, you know what though?
Your boys
was
would have
your-
told you. Your boys would have never tested your manhood. See, the one thing about your boys, they won't test your manhood. Not in that way. Ain't nobody gonna test your manhood. Oh, yo, son, like you ain't got a big dick if you ain't gonna go in. Like, ain't nobody gonna say that to you. Your boy ain't gonna say that to you. Your bro, maybe one of your broke ass homies is gonna tell you that. But like a dude, like, if you're chilling in this atmosphere, ain't nobody gonna tell you that. A woman, yo, you ain't got the balls. Oh, I'll show you I got balls. That's when you start thinking with your dick and you go in.
I'm
And now you're holding bags. You're holding bags. Yo, I am down 97% on Hawk. I don't even want to tell you how much I went in with. Is that the Hawk? Is that Hawk? What's your? Oh, that's Pie.
That's pie.
By the way, it's 10:44 a.m. on the east, 7:44 on the west. This is the breakdown, episode 112, sponsored by Unstoppable Domains, powered by Gokhshtein Media. My name is David G. David Gokhshtein, DG, whatever you want to fucking call me. That is, I said AK, just because I think he's like an AK-47 when he starts spitting out facts out here on this show. But that's AP. My man on the 1 and 2s. We are talking about all the shit that we got wrecked on. And I will not see my homies ever get wrecked again. By the way, also thinking about this last night. I guess it was one of those nights where I was like, you know what? As I'm working, I'm thinking. I felt in my heart, I swear. I felt it in my heart the market was going down. Like, I felt Bitcoin would retrace, but I felt it. I only felt that it would retrace to around into the 30s. Like, it was going to, I really did feel it was going to retrace into the 30s. I felt the entire time, though, there was nothing on the charts that would have stopped us to get us to 80,000 to 100,000 all-time high on Bitcoin. And not knowing that the reason why we went backwards is because of this asshole Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, in some way propping up the market.
Why is Michael Saylor on the page?
I have no clue why Michael Saylor is on YouTube right now. By the way, guys, if you are not tuned in to YouTube, you're missing it. I'm throwing up middle fingers. Why are we zooming?
Why are we looking at Michael like that?
Michael Saylor has aged. When Michael Saylor first came into crypto and talked about Bitcoin. By the way, there's also another thing we got to fucking talk about here. I went ahead and disrespected Solana like yesterday. You little fucking nerds, you go and hit the search bar on me and you pull up tweets from like a year ago where I am rooting for Solana to win. Yes, I'm not rooting for things to fail, so I'm going to root for them to win. But I'm allowed to change my viewpoint. It's like, hey, it's almost like, hey, if I was rooting for FTX, well, this shit happened now. I might have liked them before, but I don't like them anymore. It's the same thing. I'm allowed to change my opinion.
Well, I used to like Kanye.
It's like, oh, but remember this? Yeah, you fucking nerd. I remember that. You don't have to. I could tell you.
I used to
Fucking
like
nerds,
gossip.
go get laid, man. Honestly, go get fucking laid. You fucking nerds
David.
have nothing better to do, man. They haven't got laid in like fucking 9 years, man. I don't even know if any of them got laid.
Well, most of them don't.
Go get some ass, man.
Well, most of them don't. I mean, I'm just letting you know. Most people just don't get. They don't
Fucking
get
nerds.
good to it.
They don't get nothing. They get their hand. You know what they do? They give themselves strangers. I think these son of a bitches, when they come on here trying to troll, they sit on their fucking hand. They make their hand go numb, and they give themselves some strangers.
Oh yeah, that's the perfect strangers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to do it with the left hand. So, or you do it with your opposite hand. So you sit on the hand that's not your dominant hand. You wait till it goes numb, and then you do it. Anyway, I got a little too graphic. My bad, folks.
And then they come on here and they try. Yo, you can't troll me. I'm a bigger troll than you are. How about that? You can't troll me. I will troll you. You do not want me to give you oxygen. You do not want me to give you oxygen. And you don't want, I want the smoke. I want you to understand. Replay this, send it to your friends. I want all the smoke this year in 2023. I want all of it. I want Snoop Dogg smoke.
Wow, really? You just gonna go up in smoke like that, huh?
You got these little, I make remarks on Andrew Tate when he's tweeting out right now. I'm replying to it, asking questions. Why are you replying to Andrew tweet? Every tweet you're shut up. Why are you replying to me every time I go ahead and reply to Andrew Tate? You're doing the same thing that you're accusing me of doing. Yet I have a company and I'm actually reporting on shit. You have no job, no life, and an airdrop of some whack ass NFT project. Motherfuckers think they're a Bitcoin maxi because they got 0.01 Bitcoin in their fucking wallet and made them a maxi. Poor Michael Saylor. It's the same thing with Saylor, right? Saylor back in 2014, 15 or some shit, he said that Bitcoin is trash. And now he's your hero. This is the same man that said Bitcoin was trash and now he's your hero. Pomp said in 2017, if you like Bitcoin, wait until you see what XRP does. All your favorite Bitcoiners weren't so much into Bitcoin back in the day if you search them out. Don't at me. Don't at me. And you know what? All you son of a bitches came here to make money. Stop with this. I came here for the tech. Came here came here for the tech and
Sorry, hold on, David. Before you go there, like I want to make sure that no, stop.
Came here for the tech.
You know what? See, this is what you do. You're trying to push it one direction. I'm not saying people came here for the tech, but there are people that came here for other reasons other than to be a fuckboy. And when I say fuckboy, I'm talking about like the degens out there. Like I'm here because no. Like,
You know what? No.
We all want to make money, but some of us did come here because we don't want to miss the boat.
No, but that's what I'm talking about. Be real
Yeah.
about what your intentions were. You came here because your friend told you that, yo, there's an opportunity to make money. And you came in here looking for money. You were looking to grab generational wealth. Be real about it. Now, for those who have stayed, we appreciate the tech. That's it. Be real about it. Don't fucking come here talking about, I came here for the tech. Those people should be banned by Elon Musk. I never came here for anything else but tech. Every single one of you came here to capture generational wealth, and you stayed here, especially those through the bear market, have stayed here because you believe in the tech and you believe in this decentralized ecosystem. That's why you stayed. And also because if you talk to anybody in real life about this, they're going to look at you like a crackhead and send you off to Bellevue to a mental institution to have your brain scanned. Okay? That's why we're here. We don't talk about this stuff in front of anybody in real life because nobody's going to understand it. Nobody even understands us. We can't even communicate anymore. Have you guys, I don't know, some of you nerds don't leave your house, but if you guys have ever left your house since the pandemic and you had tried to go ahead and talk about anything at some party, number one, you feel uncomfortable because you don't fit in anymore. Because you feel like Neo from the Matrix, you feel woke, and everybody else is still plugged in to the goddamn system. So talking to them is useless. It almost feels like every time you try to go ahead and talk to somebody, Agent Smith pops into their body and starts rejecting the information that you're going ahead and pushing on somebody. Think about what I just told you. If you want to go with what Andrew Tate is talking about, which I do believe that there is a matrix, I believe there's some sort of system, then you have, literally, if you sit next to your friend and you're trying to talk to them and they get it as soon as they get it for a second, it almost feels like Agent Smith just goes right into their body and rejects the information that we are laying out for these people. That's why I said it's weird. It's weird being out there in the real world because nobody understands you anymore. You're on some different level shit. Even if you just came here 6 months ago, you're on some different level shit. You've seen everything. You're able to see the world now, man. The world's
we look
different.
at the world differently. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
if we're able to see
absolutely.
it, but yeah, we definitely see it differently. I mean, to be honest, when I kind of got in all this, it was just kind of like by suggestion. But now the thing that I started to ask was like when I'd ask you like, well, what does the metaverse mean? And the hard part was getting some of these nerds to talk about, well, it's a real thing with probabilistic algorithms and just about. And I'm like, yo, I need you to explain this to me in the most simplistic way possible because I don't understand what you're saying. Now I understand a lot better because I speak a little tech because it's a whole different language. But at the end of the day, it was, oh, the metaverse is almost like a 3D fictional world in which you can operate, live in, work in. I mean, you really can't eat there. I mean, your character can, but you can't. And then you start to see all these shows popping off. Where people could upload their conscious into a 3D universe or metaverse world. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to understand what the idea and the concept is and why, oh God, I'm not even gonna say his name, why some very rich people are talking about why AI is going to be very important because AI will help run things automatically in certain spaces and universes. We're seeing AI bots actually have conversations with us, which is one reason why that billionaire tried to buy Twitter. He wants to see if he is going to do something that is very problematic for me, but most of you don't care. And that's essentially use algorithmic language to help dictate what you're going to learn, what you're going to understand, what you'll hear, what you'll be presented with. It's going to basically tell you how to think. And as they
That's only if you allow it.
well, that's again, it's problematic for me because I understand how
Bro, but you have to look at it the same way. Like
how basic bitches are, you know?
You know what? You know what's really problem? You know what? I'm so fucking tired, man. You know what's really a fucking problem? Microsoft Word. When Microsoft Word came out with spell check, that fucked up the game. I'm gonna tell you why. Ask somebody out here in crypto, Twitter, or in Web3 to go ahead and spell out something, they're going to use Siri to do so. Web3 fucked up everything. Everything.
Well, I don't use Siri for everything. Actually, I don't use Siri. I actually only use Alexa occasionally. Otherwise, she's unplugged in my house.
But you're lazy now.
Huh?
You're lazy due to technology. You're lazy.
I don't know if I'm lazy. So, David, I think there's a different context for that. I'm not lazy. I think the world is lazy. Remember, I love history. So I love learning information. So for me, um going down a rabbit hole is actually a beneficial thing because I actually retain the information and then I categorize it, like I'm able to do that in my brain, like my head. I want to be like, I have a smart brain, people. But when you do that, you also be able to like pull it back up, so you see, like almost like when you're like, you know le- this isn't a political thing, but for the first time in over 100 years, since 1920 something, in the late 20s, this is the first time a Speaker of the House hasn't been selected on the first round. That's not me going, I have an opinion. It's just me pulling up history and saying, hey, here's a historical fact about what's going on for the first time in 100 years, right? When I talk about the election of 1896, it's not pointing towards anything other than saying billionaires, really rich people have tried this before to buy an election. So when you talk about SBF paying politicians, it's not me coming up with new information. It's me being able to regurgitate information I already retained. And I was able to retain that information because of this, because I'm able to look it up. I'm able to like access it. I'm able to go to like I'm able to back it up by other sources. I read copious amounts, right? The same way that when you're looking into a business, you're able to read, okay, here's the portfolio in the business. Here's how it's operated before. Hey, I recognize this guy's name right here, right? You're like, oh, I recognize Michael Saylor's name. Let me go read up on this guy. It's like, well, he's been mildly successful. Doesn't seem to cause a lot of controversy. It seems like somebody that actually will be putting in the effort to understand Bitcoin. You can do that with almost anyone. And if you use technology as a tool in your toolbox, you're good. If you rely on the tool to do the work for you, that's when people get fucked up, DG. They get fucked up because they rely on the tool to do the work for them. Yo, you don't fucking just put your hand on the saw and be like, I'm just gonna push this shit through. You just don't. You don't just push hey, I've got a saw. Let me just put my fingers right in the middle and just push it through. No, then you're gonna cut your thumbs off, you dumbass. You've got to recognize it is a tool. It will help you, but otherwise, you still have to guide it. You still have to guide it. You have to manage it. And then you've got to make it malleable to work for you. But otherwise, if you let the tool do the work, because we have a lot of tool bags in this world, that's why I call you all tool bags. You are the bag we put the tools in because you are worthless. You don't do anything. That is a difference between having a tool work for you and you working for the tool. We're heading towards a society where everyone works for the tool. Everyone works for the computer.
Well, I would hope that this time around, we, speaking of working for tools, I hope that this time around we create platforms or we use our platforms to position others to gain a platform. Because we had too many people on the last run being taken advantage of, and we said nothing. So what good are we as a space that allowed for that kind of shit? And what I'm talking about is really using talented people, not allowing them to shine, but incorporating them into your own company, putting them to the side and just paying them like 4% on the work and taking in all the rest of that revenue.
That's fucked up. I thought we were supposed to be a system of change. What happened with that? It was just, yeah. Look at what the fuck is wrong with my vote. Yo, I can't
I
even
don't
fucking
know.
talk. Yeah, I can't do these 2 hours where like I'm just sleeping 2 hours a night. Fuck it.
Stop
I gotta
sleeping 2
increase.
hours a night.
I gotta increase that shit to 4. Yo, fuck. I listened to wait. Hold up, bro. Yo, I don't know who the fuck said it. Who the fuck said it?
Who's what?
You gotta get up at 4:30 in the morning. Fuck that shit. It's a lie. Fucking sleep. If you're outwork them, fuck that. Yo, get some sleep, yo, for real, man.
No, David, I think I told this to you. I told this to people even yesterday, the day before. I'm like, yo, if you ain't getting money, or if you ain't getting money or earning money, you ain't doing it. Like, this is the same conversation. The older you get, it's not that you learn how to work harder. You don't have to grind anymore.
Smarter.
It's you get smarter. You're like, yo, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Like, why? I'm like, because it ain't worth it. It ain't worth the $20 I'm gonna make. I can make $50 not doing that. Like, you learn. That's
You
what
know
I'm
what it
trying to. That's what we need to teach these young men. Is like, yo, the grind is there. The grind don't stop. We grind, but at the same time, we ain't doing dumb stuff. We ain't spending our money on dumb things.
And that's where like my whole thing with Andrew Tate. This is my beef with Andrew Tate. My beef with Andrew Tate is that he'll say some of the things that I actually agree with, but then he'll say things that just don't align with my principles. So for instance, the whole car thing, the whole Bugatti shit. You fucking fanboys, shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. The way you interpret it is wrong. It's completely wrong. Like, you don't work towards a Bugatti. You work towards property. You want money, you want property. Whether it's physical or virtual, get property and get passive income. Like, I'm going to say this again. I don't know if I said this yesterday on the show, but I'm going to say it again. Property equals passive income, and then you can chill. You can relax. Because now you have money coming into you while you're sleeping. Money is entering your bank account as you are sleeping. So you don't have to work overtime and grind for these useless items, material items that you're going for. That's why the rich are in their current positions. They make their money work for them. The 1% makes their money work for them. Meanwhile, you're taking out loans and maxing out your credit cards and working overtime to act like you're balling when you're not.
Why does everybody want to be a baller? Like, I got it. I got issues with that. Like, I get it. Like,
If you can't buy it, you ain't balling. If you're
So-
leasing it, you ain't balling. I'm telling you
but like, they
right
think
now.
they need it though. They think they need it. Like, I
Because
don't
you need
understand.
because in this society you need it, Akil. Akil, you're not getting anywhere if you don't got. Yo, listen. If you're a real estate agent and you pull up in a Honda Civic, you think you make. If I'm a client, you think I'm fucking with you or the dude that pulls up in the Bentley?
I mean, for me, I want the Honda Civic guy because I don't want nobody to know what I'm about to buy.
Nope, you're gonna go for the Bentley guy. I'm gonna tell you why. Because as soon as the guy comes through with the Bentley, and he might be the worst salesperson ever, but that dude is coming through with a Bentley and a nice steamed Hugo Boss suit. I'm a shout out to Hugo Boss because that's what I wear. Hugo Boss suit. He comes through. You're looking at him versus the guy who comes through with sweatpants and a
Now, whoa,
Honda
whoa,
Civic.
whoa, hold on, David. That's
Hey,
number one. Number one, I'm not looking at your Hugo Boss suits. I'm looking at the cuffs of the
Listen,
shirt you're wearing. If I see you have good cuffs, I know what type of person you are. If you've got run of the mill cuffs, I know what type of person you are. I
you are
know the edges
you're
to look for.
hold
You know
on.
what I mean?
Are you gonna buy? So say it right now. So you're fucking being recorded on YouTube, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You tell me right now. You would buy if you were buying a house. You would buy a house from a dude that pulled up in a Honda Civic,
Yep.
or buy a dude? Would you buy a house from a guy who pulls up in a Bentley?
I'd buy a house from somebody that pulled up in a Honda Civic.
You're lying.
I'm being 100%.
You're lying.
So David, when I'm buying, so
You're
first
full
off,
of shit. You're full of shit. So
okay,
go
so
ahead.
the property that I'm buying next, the next property that we're looking into,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
a
sure.
rental
I'm sure
property.
he drives a Ford Pinto. You,
But
you know what? Tell me your real estate agent, the guy who's selling you the property, rolled up with roller skates.
again, I just said, if you're doing this well and you're doing it right, you are not rolling up to a Ford Pinto. You're rolling, if somebody shows up in a Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry, shout outs to all the Toyota Camrys out there, because you're the number one trafficker of drugs in America. FYI, check out the statistics on the FBI website. But if you're coming up in a Honda or Toyota Civic, you can really say, hey, this person might be practical. And I need someone that is practical to talk to me about this. I don't want, and I'm saying this as somebody that's like, look, I'm not talking about the luxury penthouse. I'm talking about the investment property or the residential homes, the small stuff. You'd rather have someone like that because they're going to help you through the entire process. While that other person, one of my homies, he's got some high-end clients. He knows in order to sell a $35 million house, he can't fuck with people like me. He needs that level of clientele. And so he's got to get it going. He's like, yo, I got to get this house off the market. There's only a
You're not.
small group of
You
people that
don't
will
get
buy
it.
it. That's a different world.
I don't disagree with you. The whole thing is that our current society is built on image and labels.
Yes. All right.
So
I'm agreeing with you there. We're good there, David.
we're not disagreeing here. All I'm saying is that at the end of the day, if it pulls up, people are more likely to do business with somebody who's faking it until they're making it versus somebody who's made it, but yet says, I don't need a Bentley to pull up to go ahead and sell you this house. I could come with my sweatpants in an old ass Honda Civic with, yo, shout out to anybody who's from New York. You know what I'm gonna hit you with this one with the Honda Accord Civic, probably 1999 with the two different painted doors. If you don't know about that shit, we can't fuck with each other.
Hold
You
on.
don't know about
You mean the one that's like smooth, and then the one that looks like it was sprayed it on with a spray, like it was like a spray can.
And as soon as it fucking takes off, it's pop, 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 pop. Sounds like gunfire is going off. But
that I agree with.
In our current society, like if you pull up like that, then like you're gonna do business with somebody who's pulling up in a Bentley or pulling up in a Range, whatever it is. Like you're doing business with somebody that looks the part. You're not gonna do business with somebody who doesn't. That's the unfortunate part. But you know what? You should take. You know what? You should take pride in like. Let me say this to some of you young men. You should take pride in dressing up. I'm not saying you have to wear suits like me. I love suits. I'm not, like I love suits. There's a whole thing like you wear a suit. Oh, you're from Wall Street. No. I just love suits. It's a dope thing to go ahead and just put on a suit. To me, it just feels like it's kind of like fucking Marvel. Like when they put on, like when Iron Man puts on his fucking suit, he feels powerful. It's the same way I feel. I feel powerful when I put on a suit. But these young men here need to go ahead and start dressing up. A lot of these people, I go out and I see people just like dressed up like, I don't know, like farmers, bro. You're looking ridiculous. Seriously, can I even say this? Can I say this on here? Yuppies? Can I say that, or is that offensive? Akil, you're the one with the fucking.
Oh yeah, you can say yuppies.
I can say yuppies. Okay, these yuppies, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys seen these yuppies, all right? So I'm talking for New York, man. I don't know what's happening in other states, but these fucking yuppies, they are literally walking out. They got millions of dollars, by the way, but they're walking out the house looking like straight, like they went to the Salvation Army and picked out their clothes today. I'm talking about. Have you ever seen that Lenny Kravitz scarf? Alex, if
Yeah.
you can find that Lenny Kravitz scarf that he wore in New York, it was a big ass scarf. Like these people are like, number one, not taking a shower.
I'll be
Forget
back.
about deodorant's out the question. They're not rocking with deodorant. Okay, there's no deodorant. You smell like onions. You smell like total onions. You can smell them from a mile away. What happened to Akil? He left. Was I talking bad about his people?
No. I'll be right back. I gotta go grab something.
Oh, you got to pee? All right, cool. Yeah, like for the young men out there, seriously, put yourself like you don't have to wear a suit. All I'm saying is, number one, trim your beards. Number two, get a haircut. Get deodorant. Seriously, the things that I'm naming to you right now aren't expensive. Take a shower, get deodorant, get a haircut. Work out. Doesn't cost you anything to work out. You don't got to go to a gym. If you're a fat ass, start clapping your hands. Start clapping your hands. Throw away all the garbage that you have in your house. All the chips, cookies, throw that shit all into right now. I want you to get up right now. I want you to get up right now. And I want you to throw all that shit into garbage. Throw all that. If you got cookies, if you got anything, all that shit into garbage right now. Today, you made that New Year's resolution that 2023 was going to be a better year for you. I want you to throw away all the junk food in your house. Every single piece of junk food that you have thrown in your house. I want you to go online, because I know that you're not going to fucking leave the house. Go online, order deodorant, order cologne. And if you guys need advice on cologne, shoot me a DM. I'll tell you what cologne that you need to go ahead and buy. But you got to buy cologne. You cannot go outside smelling like onions. The pandemic is over. It is over. The restrictions have been lifted. You cannot be a man walking out here smelling like onions. Period. I don't know who made it acceptable to go ahead and smell. It's not cool.
Man, I'm back. Oh wow, I love that scarf.
Yeah, Lenny. If anybody's watching on YouTube, Lenny Kravitz. I mean, I love Lenny Kravitz. I think he's a very handsome guy. But he can get away with this. But this is what like these yuppies go ahead and dress like. And they're rude as fuck. They're rude as fuck. They are rude. They're really rude. They don't give a fuck about stop signs. They'll go through red lights. Like they're crazy. And then they look at you like like you did something wrong. Anyway, cologne, deodorant, throw out your junk food, start exercising. Do 50 push-ups a day, do 100 sit-ups a day, and do 50 squats a day. That's all. 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50 squats. That's it. 30 days. Watch what happens. Watch how watch how your life changes in 30 days if you start doing that. Just that. That's not a lot to ask for. Not a lot to ask for. Do it for yourself. Don't do all these things for somebody else. Don't try to impress anybody except yourself. We're out here trying to impress people. They're not impressed. They don't care. Impress yourself. Feel good about yourself. Ramen noodles are bad. Don't eat ramen noodles. That's bad for you.
Tons
know
of
you might-
sodium.
It's horrible. Bad.
But I mean, to be honest, David, I mean, they do taste
Yeah.
good.
I understand they taste good. Everything that's bad tastes good. Everything that's good tastes bad. Remember that. Everything that tastes really good is bad for you. Everything that's bad is really good for you. It fuels you. And you can look, this is what real men, this is what men who have achieved success need to be talking about to other men. And that's the problem that we have in our society. Like Web3, you want to talk about Web3? Well, these are the conversations that we should have. Before we go ahead and talk about our favorite crypto or our NFT project or the metaverse, we should go ahead and start socializing a little bit more like we did back in the day. And we shouldn't leave anybody behind. Let's talk about it.
Well, let's talk
And
about
I'm
something weird,
also
David.
okay. And also, real quick, before I give you the mic, I'm okay
Okay.
with people because somebody just tweeted this to me. I'm okay with people posting up pictures of their vehicles. There's nothing wrong with that. If anything, if you see somebody posting up a picture of their vehicle, be inspired. Be like, okay, that's a goal. That's fine. The
Yeah.
whole Bugatti thing, you're not gonna get. First of all, you're not gonna get a Bugatti because they only make 2,500 per year. Okay, you might get a used one, if that ever in your life, but and still they resell at like 2.5 million. And why the fuck would you want a Bugatti anyway, man? You're not gonna clear. First of all, in New York, you're not clearing anything. You're not clearing anything in New York. Your Bugatti's gonna get swallowed by a pothole. Do you know how big the potholes are in New York? Your Bugatti's gonna end up in a fucking yo. I swear on everything, bro. That shit gonna end up in a fucking pothole. And you're gonna need like 13 tow trucks to get the shit out of there. So fucking at any moment, the fucking roads open up here in New York. You can have literally a sinkhole that comes out of nowhere. This is like Mario Kart out here in New York.
What I would just like to say once again, David, is so number one, hey, I will, if you're making fun of people that go to Planet Fitness, don't, because Planet Fitness provides a low income communities that need it the most an opportunity to have a gym that actually is open when they're available. Like, let's be very real. I always think like people are always like, "Oh, my gym closes at 10." I'm like, "Yo, what happens to people?" And I remember doing this, David. I don't know if you've ever had a night job, but I remember I used to work late nights. So I would used to work from like I think it was like 2 to like 11 p.m. So I would get done at 11 p.m. And then they were like, "Oh, but you had all morning to go to work." It's like, no, that's what I was training. So I was also training for the Olympics. So I was like, no, but I was training. So I had a day job. I had this night job. So the only time that I had an opportunity to really like use the gym by myself was like after I got off of work at 11 when I wasn't helping other people. That was a good thing for me. And I had access to one of the best facilities in the world. I actually had a key to the weight room and the locker rooms at the University of Maryland. Shout outs to my people over there, Kay McCoy, my homeboy Al, who used to run the athletic department. I used to run I used to get free gear out of Al. That's what it was really cool because Al would give me my gear and I'd have to wash it myself. But anyway, low income people need places like Planet Fitness because they're open 24/7s. They're available to them and they need it. And I want people to be able to use those places. That what I don't like is like, it's kind of like got this bad rap, but it's good stuff. It's good equipment for them to use.
Don't make fun of anybody who goes to the gym. Forget about even Planet Fitness. Anybody who goes to the gym and anybody who's in a gym trying to better their lives and you're making fun of them, you're a jerk off. You're a fucking jerk off. Complete jerk off. You should be fucking clapping for that person. If there is a person who is overweight who has entered the gym and they're trying to lose weight and better themselves to get healthy, forget about just cutting up, but just to get healthy and you're making fun of them, you're a fucking piece of shit. I'd spit in your face if I was in the gym and I saw you fucking doing that. Just letting you know.
Damn. Spit in their face?
Yeah, for shit. For real. Like I'd fucking spit in somebody's face, smack them upside the head for fucking making fun of somebody trying to go ahead and better themselves. That's the fucking problem we have in fucking society. It's where, people try to better themselves and they get made fun of. So somebody who attempts to do something, we make fun of them for putting in a fucking effort. And that's why they give up so easily. Is this fucking mentality in this fucking current society that fucking live in, that we make fun of people that are trying to do things. We don't support and encourage. We're not pushing for people to go ahead and elevate themselves. We're putting people fucking down and cutting their legs off. That's the real fucking problem. That's the real pandemic that we have going on in the fucking world today that we live in. Because we want people, I always say this, I say this all the time. We want people to either, you can be right there with me, but if it's as soon as you get better, I'm gonna cut your legs off. That's the problem that we have. Instead of rooting for the next man.
So in the great state of Maryland, they call that the crab in the barrel effect. Every time somebody tried to get out, another crab pulls them right back down. But I'm a big believer in, when my village wins, I win.
Exactly. That's the mindset.
Yeah.
Like, I want seriously, like I don't kid around. You know me, Akil, you know me already. I want
Yeah.
everybody to win. I don't care. I don't care who you are. If you're good to me, I will do everything possible. I'll do everything. I don't want nothing in return either. I feel good about doing it. Like you have to be born with that. Like I feel good about seeing like other people do well. Like I feel good about it.
I'm going to say this. I'm not bullying anybody into getting in shape. I'm not going to bully you, but I'm not going to ridicule you either. But I'm going to make sure that you know that I believe in you, that you can do it. I think I had this talk with one of my wrestlers yesterday, at practice. I told him, I was like, look, he was like, oh, just corner me, coach. Just I need the motivation. I go, no, when you were younger, I coached you so I could motivate you to get you to do this. You're grown now. My motivation on the side is what you need.
No, that's even worse. Motivation is the
he knows I'm there to support him, but he's got to do this as a man on his own. I got him to the point. Listen, if you saw this kid, he is ripped now.
If you need motivation,
he can do it without me.
But if you need motivation, you're going to lose. If you need somebody to motivate you, you're in the wrong profession.
Yeah, but
you can't.
You're in the wrong
motivation life. It's okay to go ahead and say, hey. No. Motivation kills dreams. I don't give a fuck what anybody. If you need to be motivated in your current field, it's not for you. It's not. Yeah. You need determination. You need to be consistent. You got to show up because it has to be in you. This is
one of my wrestlers. So he's gotten that far. Like I've taken him to the promised land. He's got to push himself now.
100%.
Like you can't. But that's why, like when you're young, when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, I'm going to be there telling you, hey, you're getting to the point where you can't have me push you all the time. You got to do it yourself. Well, but guess what? You're still a kid. I'm going to help you through this. But at the end of the day, it's going to be your decisions. It's going to be your life choices. I will support you. Like, there's a weird thing my dad always said. I don't know if anyone else's father ever got this. Anyone ever get one? You get one free time. That's your get out of jail card free. That's when they're coming to pick you up. That's when they're going to get you out of trouble. But then after that, you're on your own. This was your choices. So you got to learn. And I remember my dad saying, yeah, I'm going to get you out once, but the next time it's not going to be me. So
I listen, I agree with that. Also, let me just go to the hate DMs. There's a new segment on the breakdown. The hate DMs. I got some guy. I don't know what the fuck his name is. Martino.
sent me a message saying Hugo Boss made Nazi uniforms. This guy, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Am I not supposed to drive German cars?
I think they also make Confederate uniforms too.
I got to stop driving German cars now. I won't drive German cars anymore. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, so you should stop driving your Toyota Urus. We're going to go ahead and use that fucking terminology. Fucking, I love when people say, aren't you Jewish? Why are you driving a German car? Jewish, you're driving a German. Bro, like, like, I'm not an Orthodox Jew, bro. Like, I don't put curls on and have tefillin done on me Fridays, bro. Like, I'm chilling. Fucking living life, bro. Here's the next one. Bro, you should really be more focused on your life. I'm not a Tate supporter, but bro, you're doing too much. You come off as someone who feels intimidated by Andrew Tate.
I don't know her. who DMs you like that? Like, for real, like,
yo,
no, hold on, David. This motherfucker needs to be told the truth. We are commentary. We help people understand markets. We help them understand processes. We give commentary based off of actual facts. And for you to be like, get off of Andrew, this motherfucker is poisoning my children, our children. He's poisoning them. Just because he says, go to the gym while you're slapping your girlfriend, I literally had to tell one of my athletes that I coach, yo, Andrew Tate's not a role model. He's like, but he tells me to go to the gym. I go, who's at the gym with you? You are? Does Andrew Tate really tell you to go to the gym, or do I text you at 6 a.m. going, get your ass to the gym? You do? I say, well, stop fucking listening to Andrew Tate. That's why I'm that. So if you want to talk about, well, get off of his nuts. No. He is poisoning the young men that I work with. He's poisoning the young people of my world. And pieces like shit like that don't need to fucking have a platform right now if I got one. Fuck him, let him rot in jail while he goes beats on his dick, or he meets Bobo the clown while he's in there.
Damn.
But you are not gonna poison the young people that I work with. So
Do you think he said
a tweet, you turn it sideways, and you shove it up your candy ass?
All right, The Rock. Listen, I want to ask you a question. Do you think Andrew Tate says anything that's relevant?
He tells people, I just said, he's got 1% right, 99% wrong. Telling people to go to the gym's a good thing. Telling people that they should learn how to be men. But the problem is Andrew Tate doesn't know how to be a man yet.
Do you think Andrew Tate is somebody who's insecure with himself?
Absolutely.
I think he says things that you can like you think about, and it does make sense. I just like I've always said that I think that when he makes a point, he continues, and then he throws out something that just completely blows up the good point that he just fucking made, and is just like, yo, bro, like. And somebody said, well, David, you don't like him because he cusses. Bro, like, I curse all the time. Like, it has nothing to do with him cursing. And I'm not a hater. Like, I really am. I don't have hate in my blood, bro. I might dislike people, but I don't hate people, and I don't hate on people's success. I think Andrew Tate did a phenomenal job by hacking the fucking social media algorithm, and that's why you see him everywhere, all over the place. But nothing that he says is shocking to me, and it's nothing that I've never learned. Yo, I'm from, like, again, I'm gonna say this, and this might be irritating to people, but I'm from New York, man. We've learned this from the minute that we came out of our mothers, man. Like that's what our at least my DNA is that. Like I know, I've heard of this, I know this. My only beef is that, like, yo, don't put your hands on a woman. That's really it. But I agree with him when it comes to certain topics about women.
when, at the end of the day, he said something about marriage. Like, why would you get married? When you sign that paper, you ultimately, the system, the way it's set up in America, is like the man gets fucked, and it's true. It is true. There's no denying that. You can't you can't even rebut. There's no rebuttal to what he's saying. There is none. The father has no rights. The father has to go ahead and pay child support. It immediately goes into, the women's section. I'm sorry, ladies. I know you've tuned in. I know there are a bunch of women that tune into the show, and I love you. You understand. I don't have to defend myself, but I always, try to say that the more women in the space, the more mature that the space becomes, the more adoption comes in. But talking about this subject, it is true. The law is always on the woman's side. And it's fucked up because there's great dads out there that literally are being choked out because of the way the rules are set up. So I agree. There's no.
Well, I mean, the
there's
rules
no
are set up that
incentive.
way, David, is because we're still living in ancient times. I
But
mean,
that's what I'm saying. So there's no incentive, right? There's no incentive to sign that document, because then you're screwed. And now, if you approach a woman and you say, "Hey, let's sign a prenup," right? Let's say you're a successful gentleman, right? Let's say you are successful, and now you meet somebody. It's great. You're having a good time, and now you present, "Hey, you know what? I want to marry you, but you got to sign a prenup." You know what happens? Oh, so you don't trust me?
hmm.
No, because seriously, like that happens.
Well, I don't know why. So a prenup isn't the end all and be all anyway.
No, but
You
like
know,
that's like, oh, but no, but for a woman it's like, and I don't want to say all women, but for some women it's like, oh my god, you don't trust me. And then a man says, okay, we won't do a prenup, and then 3 years later they're divorced. I'm just keeping it real with you, man. You got to keep your bored ape safe. You got to keep them mutant apes, your bored apes, your crypto punks, you got to keep them safe.
I'm gonna say that again. I think that I think
Look,
we
look,
live in ancient times. Like
hold on,
I
hold
just
on.
want people to recognize you can't say. Look, they used to say a woman's place is in the kitchen and a man's place is in the workforce. That doesn't exist anymore, right? So because of that, you then have to start saying, well, is the child really better off with just the mother or just the father? Because they're not.
How about
There's one thing that I will tell you is
how
that,
about co-parenting?
well, co-parenting is the only way to go. It's the
Yes,
only way to
that's what
go
I'm saying.
because we know statistically children that have two parents, I didn't say same sex or anything, children have two parents involved in their lives are way more likely to avoid prison, to avoid drugs, because somebody's going to be able to watch them grow up and help them through all the problems. When you've got one person and one person only doing it, yeah, the children are destined to fail because there's only one person. And that makes it very difficult. Single moms can't watch their single kids. And then what's a single mom going to do for a little boy when he's like, yo, the wind just blew and I didn't know what to do with my pee when I had to go to the chalkboard, which isn't a chalkboard anymore. And he probably gets in trouble if he does get up there because he's going to have sexual assault charges prevailed against him because he got a little boner and because the wind blew through his way and he saw somebody that was, had a dress on or, had a nice rear end. I mean, kids are kids. We are treating children like adults way too often, and they are not. They are not. Their frontal lobes are barely formed. That's why I got issues. And that's why I also say co-parenting is the only way to actually address the issue when, a single parent's got to. No, a single parent doesn't have to do all the work. That was a myth. We're taking men out of the homes. Yeah, I didn't take men out of the homes. Our fucking stupid ass government did. They thought removing men from the home was a good thing because they started coming up. I mean, hold on a minute. You've been telling me from 1900 to 1968, 1970, there was no crime. And then all of a sudden, boom, all the crime happens, and then everybody's getting taken to jail. I'm like, this don't sound right.
Rose, I'm not jaded. This is not the 80s where this is not the 50s, 60s, or 70s where people stayed together and actually worked on their relationship. This is not a time and era where uh back then when your parents were going out with each other, there was no social media. So with no social media being available, there wasn't more opportunity out there for both men and women. So it was a totally different era that you speak of. Period. Like totally different era. So people had to work together to stay, within that relationship and work on it and work on family versus what we have now where social media, Instagram, Twitter, like name it all. You have all these options available to people that's why the divorce rates are so high. Because even when you find the 10, people aren't satisfied with it. People want to see if they can get an 11. That's the problem. Besides the government being involved in everything, that's another problem. Social media is a big problem. When you have access to go ahead and talk to somebody, 3,000 miles away from you that you would have never met, it's a big problem. I don't believe I think marriage now takes a lot more effort than it did back in the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, or before the internet came along. But that's the truth. Like you guys, like that's 100% facts. You guys, you can't argue with me on this topic. Why would somebody who is married have an Instagram account and post pictures of herself and herself only? That person wants attention. Like you can't even debate me on it. Like if you're married but you're posting sexy ass pictures on Instagram and you're using filters and I'm saying you look dope as hell, then like how can you argue what I'm saying? Because if you're married and you love your significant other, you're not posting those pictures on Instagram. And if you are, then you're posting them with your husband. Or your husband's posting them with the husband's posting it with the wife. And don't say, and don't get me wrong, hey, a picture here or there that you're posting up there on your own Instagram account, okay, fine. But when 90% of your shit is all you, number one, that's disrespectful to your significant other. That's super disrespectful.
I hear you, DG.
Yo, if anybody tries to flame me for that, man, you're just like, I don't know. Use a hoe, and that goes for both sides. Male or female, use a hoe. What else can you say? Listen. I'm gonna say this right now, man. I'm thinking of the right way to put it. I think you can be successful in this modern day, but it takes a lot more work than it did 30 to 40 years ago. Do not compare your parents' relationship to the ones that we have now. It is just impossible. Impossible. For those that do it, God bless you. That's it. That's all I can say. God
Yeah.
bless.
No, like I said, DJ, I've never been married, so it's hard for me to speak on this topic. Never been married. Don't have. Well, I've been close enough to being married that I'd never want to always do it, but I don't know. And luckily, I've been blessed in other ways. But like I just said, man, if we do not help people become better people, they're going to make the same mistakes of their parents. And the sins of the father and the sins of the mother are not um, always to be like placed back on the children. We need role models in this world. That's why, like I said, I'm working on that new show, but it's because of this. We don't have any. Like there was an old saying, ain't nobody coming to save us but us. So guess what? Go do something. Go reach out to a young family. Go reach out to a mentee. Be somebody's support system. It's the only way we're going to make this world better, especially in this crypto industry. There are way too many degens running around thinking they know shit when they don't know anything. And then they come back and they cry and they said, I lost everything. What did I do wrong? It's like, you didn't do anything wrong. You just weren't listening to people that had come before you, who have made the same mistakes as you. You've got to learn from somebody. Otherwise, you're fucked. You're just fucked if you don't learn from people. Well, David, I think we've actually gone a little overtime.
I didn't
So,
even notice it. It's
yeah.
11:44 a.m. We went past our time. Want to say thank you very much to everybody who has joined us today, as usual. I know the main characters here, and obviously this show continues to build. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in from Monday through Thursdays, from 9:45 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the East Coast. Nobody cares about the West. My name's David Gokhshtein. That is Akil Patterson. We touched on a bunch of shit today, SBF, but like honestly, nobody fucking cares about that shit. Bonk. I think it's pure shit. Crap. Stay out of it. Yes, it's financial advice. Stay out of it. Uh, I just think it's something that people are waiting to dump on you. How about that? I usually don't fucking tell anybody anything, but like, I would really fucking stay out of it. Um, and watch me say that, and like everybody becomes a millionaire. But
No, because somebody's exit liquidity for
exactly.
Solana. Somebody is.
We talked about Andrew Tate. I guess we talked about that shit, but you know what? 2023, I made a promise to myself, Akil, and I said I ain't holding back on nothing anymore. I feel like holding back is just like it's killing me inside. So fuck it. It is what it is. I'm gonna lay into anybody and anything at any given time, and it's not just because I want to be sensational. It's just I want to be myself. So on that note, I hope everybody has a great day today. I have a lot of shit to do myself. And on that note, Akil Patterson, take it away, biatch.
There was an old saying that a man who has himself for a client, the man who represents himself in court has a fool for a client. Um, Hopefully, you'll never have to find that out. Listen, folks, touch grass, tell someone you love them, and at the end of the day, remember, you are never alone. Have a great day and an even better tomorrow.
I just wanted to dance to that. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.